Welcome back, and now let's take a look at these reports which actually explain the slew of measures taken by government to ensure that the entire demonetization process is carried out smoothly.
Right, and then talking about the slew of measures, fresh slew of measures have been introduced so that the demonetization process goes off as smoothly as possible. In a fresh set of measures to curb money laundering, the government has announced the use of indelible ink to prevent the same person from exchanging old currency more than once. More in this report.
In a major crackdown against those who are trying to turn black money into white, Economic Affairs Secretary Shakti Kanta Das has announced that banks will be using indelible ink similar to the one used in elections. This step has been taken to discourage people exchanging money multiple times, resulting in long queues. The DEA Secretary revealed that the Finance Ministry has been receiving reports of many trying to convert their black money by sending people in groups to swap currency at bank counters.
It has been decided that government would resort, the branches of banks would take resort to use of indelible ink marks for disbursement of cash.
Government has taken a number of measures to reduce pressure on the common man. Cash availability has been increased in post offices. About 1.3 lakh branches of post offices have been stashed with enough cash to meet the surging demand. Hundreds of new micro cash machines or micro ATMs have been installed across the country. The government has encouraged religious institutions to deposit currency notes for smaller denominations in local banks. Banks have been asked to waive off transaction charges on debit and credit cards. A tech team has been established to popularize e-wallets in the country. Helicopters of Indian Air Force is being used to ferry cash to the interior parts of the country. Finance Ministry is doing daily review exercise to assess problem areas and put in place remedial measures. Meanwhile, scrutiny has increased on Jan Dhan accounts being misused by unscrupulous elements.
I would take this opportunity to appeal to all the Jan Dhan account holders not to allow themselves to be used by other people for putting their money into these accounts.
Scrutiny has been increased on jewelers who have been suspected of indulging in unscrupulous activities. Special task force is being set up to monitor infusion of fake currency notes into the system and also deposit of black money. This task force will focus on ensuring that there is no money laundering. Government has also assured the supply of essential commodities in the economy is being closely monitored. People have been asked not to believe in and spread social media rumors about certain institutions going on strike.
We have enough stock of salt, and the demand, compared to the demand for salt in our country, the stock of salt is far in excess.
Government has stepped up efforts to soothe frayed nerves and urged people not to panic following demonetization.
ATM में भी सुधार आएगा और जो हमने कैश लिमिट को बढ़ाया उसके कारण जो बिजनेस की एक्टिविटी में थोड़ी बहुत स्टैग्नेशन आया था उसमें भी सुधार आएगा. इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी भी जनरेट होगी. पैनिक करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है.
Early on Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 97-year-old mother Hiraba visited a bank at her village in Gandhinagar just like any other citizen and exchanged her old notes in view of demonetization of high-value currency notes. Accompanied by relatives, Hiraba, who was in a wheelchair, came to a branch of OBC Bank at Raisan village, got notes worth 4,500 rupees exchanged. Prime Minister's move has been welcomed by the public.
हाँ लक्ष्य मिल रही है. हाँ हमें सुविधा है इसकी.
बाकी ऐसा करा है, बहुत अच्छा करा है. जितनी तारीफ की जाए उतनी कम है.
बहुत बढ़िया किया सरकार ने, बहुत अच्छा किया.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has refused to stay government's notification of demonetizing 500 and 1,000 rupee currency notes, but asked it to spell out the steps taken to minimize public inconvenience. A bench comprising of Chief Justice T.S. Thakur and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud have posted the matter for further hearing on November the 25th.
It's been 1 week since Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that 500 and 1,000 rupee note will no longer be a legal tender. There might be a few hiccups, but surely the line has started to move and the common man is facing less problem now. The government is working on a war footing, and by the end of this month the government expects full normalcy to return. With camera person Pramod Negi, Siddhant Sibbal, DD News, New Delhi.